Hello, friends. A very warm welcome to Ansarkari. And in this episode, where we are picking up two very crucial questions with respect to economics optional paper one. The goal is again to go through the chronology of the demand of the question and also trying to understand that what actually we can write in the answer so that we can not just impress the examiner, I would say, but fulfill the demand of the question because the things have been changing so fast, society has become so fluid, so much of information is available everywhere that examination has become a kind of a equal domain for majority of aspirants. But still we have to be in the competing light, we have to be smart. So that is why this is one of the pedagogy, this is one of the, I would say, a kind of a technique, or I would say a kind of a course structure that we have created, where we try to make sure that it is not a negative inspiration for us. It is a kind of a positive approach. It is a kind of a self-learning approach where we make a mistake, but then we learn from it. It is like DIY. It is like, learning on the job. It is not a theoretical perspective. So these ideas we have practiced not just here, but on different occasions, on different ways. So that the thematic way will remain same. I'll be reading out the question, and Mansi would be explaining it and then comparing it with the model answer. So I'll start with question number one. Discuss the changing perspective of the role of government in a mixed economy. A very, very ever relevant question, I would say. And perspective we can always take up because it's a mixed economy. So we can take up from 1947 till 1960s, 1960s to 1980s, 1980s to 1990s to then 2000, and then 2000 2014, and then 14 onward to 2024. We can just think of any way, even if we are not classifying it, even if we are trying to create a phase from say 1947 till pre-liberalization one phase, and then from liberalization till 2025 another phase. It all depends how best and how simply we are able to make the examiner, I would say, understanding the demand of the question. Again, I'm coming to the same point. So please start the answer.
जी सर in a mixed economy framework, government's role is tilted more towards welfare objectives, with the market taking care of the pace of growth and the profitability. The changing perspective, the government's role, phase one is 1947 to 1991. So here the perspective of the government's role is to become a stabilizer of growth with 70% share of the revenue expenditure towards food security under the NFSA and PDS to poor people, because poverty rate was 70% at that time in India, and agriculture, fertilizer subsidy and land reforms. Then government is an organizer through planned economic growth with 5-year plans under the Planning Commission. Also, we can say it was also all in one approach where government acted as a financer, a regulator, and a reformer. So, green revolution
Mm.
through global cooperation was realized. Then, phase two would be 1991 to 2014. So, here liberalized, the government's role liberalized from import substitution to more open economy. So, for example, FDI in industries grew. So, strategic areas they were focused like defense or the atomic energy, for example, 1998 tests, and supplement the markets like SEBI went 100% digital, unleashing the power of Indian savings for the capital market. And then phase three would be 2014 to present. So here we see majorly the perspective is minimum government and maximum governance through, for example, Digital Indian Mission, where government acts as a facilitator of growth now. So therefore, government's role is dynamic, which decides the success of the private sector and the market transparency.
Very true, because the question says that being in the mixed economy, what are the changing perspectives?
Perspective, the role of government.
Very true. The changing perspectives of the role of the government in a mixed economy.
G,
So you are very rightly put up. The fundamental role has been of a welfare state. So that remains the same, but the modus operandi,
G,
tools for making India a welfare state, they have changed a bit at times. So I think the fair first layer is very much visible, and in the first part, like you rightly said, stabilizer with 70% share of revenue expenditure towards food security, and then PSUs obviously they are like the big dam or big steel industry, something big. The heavy industrialized part is also done by the government. I think uh, one and a half layers, I would say, are definitely visible, and it is definitely moving towards more lighter, definitely moving towards more smarter, and the structure is also. We are going to get marks for structure. We are going to get marks for whatever points we have written. Only the fact is that can we, even whatever points we are writing, can they are linked with each other? Or can we write something in a way in the pre-liberalization era, where in the post-liberalization era, only the enhanced part or the bigger version of the previous part is visible, because agriculture was there also, industry was there also, everything was there. But then it was there in a very nascent and a very primitive phase.
जी.
Whether it is even like you said about the strategic areas, so defense is there, atomic energy is there, ISRO is there. But was it so powerful? Was it so innovative? Was
Hmm.
it so competitive? So that element is there. So this is one area where I feel we can just, when we are writing fast, but then it is a good effort and you will see to it. What is high powered money? Explain how changes in short term monetary policy affect high powered money and money multiplier. I think very, very pertinent and a very, very, open ended question where you can just bring number of points.
जी सर,
Please.
so high powered money, which is capital H, is the money issued and controlled by the central bank, so RBI in case of India, which is highly powered to change the entire money supply in the economy, that is liquidity. So it is the most liquid monetary base on which a bank creates credit. And through equation, high powered money is a combination of currency in circulation and the RBI reserves. So money multiplier, which is small m, is this is the formula where small r is the reserve to deposit ratio held by banks, and C is the currency to deposit ratio held by the people. So, under expansionary monetary policy, the high powered money will increase as money supply is increasing, which raises the liquidity. In case of money multiplier, since this R will increase, the reserve ratio increases, high powered money will also increase. And also, in case of the currency to deposit ratio, the net that will also increase. So net effect would be increase in the money multiplier with the expansionary monetary policy. So thus money supply increases in multiple of this money multiplier of the monetary base. So effectiveness of money multiplier depends upon the transmission mechanism, which is affected by the time lag, and it less than growth in the money supply than what is the increase under the monetary policy through changes in the repo rate.
I think very good. You are able to put it in the formula formation and also bringing it in a flow. Let's see.
जी. So I discussed the changing perspective, the role of government in mixed economy. After independence, India adopted a mixed economy and state assumed commanding heights. Post 1991 reform and adoption of the Washington Consensus led to rollback of the state. So
चलिए
changing
आगे.
role of government,
Washington consensus is
1997. Adoption the planning and the government sector playing leading role. Industrial Policy Resolution 1948, reservation sectors for the government and economy, allocative role through industrial licensing, distributive role through high income tax and corporate tax, 97%. So market mechanism replaced by quota system
quota
and
system.
states control over price and distribution network, MRTP Act.
Very
1991
true.
present, indicative planning adopted rather than micromanagement. Focus was on setting macro framework for growth pattern,
That's
and
it.
the these
Fair.
were adopted with the licensing system dismantling, and PSU is now limited to strategic sectors. So focus on the welfare and stabilization rule, counter-cyclical fiscal policies, support to private sector rather than competition, reduced and now limited to four sectors. So subsidy and progressive tax as means of redistribution, regulation to prevent anti-competition behavior by RBI, SEBI, and CCI. So role of government has changed to suit the needs of 21st century. Unused capacity and market allocation bear fruits as we saw highest growth period post LPG reforms. So
So how do you say? Like I agree. Like we have
Mhm.
also put up a couple of very important points, but here again, they are not points. They are actually mechanism of the points.
जी. हम्म.
That is the only difference I can say. It is a mechanism, and again, from the economics optional perspective, the model answer reflects, like, rather than this is what I was in fact indicating to you, that agriculture was there in the past also, agriculture is there in the present also,
हम्म.
industry was there also, industry is here also. So what is the
जी.
difference? The difference is in the terms of mechanism, the tool. That's what I
हाँ.
was also saying
The
to. So
functioning.
I think fair enough. Like it is only about being aware that
Hmm.
how we can write beyond the general point. I think this is only one takeaway we can have, because PSUs were there, but then their autonomy was not there. Presently, autonomy is more.
Hmm.
Licensing Raj hai, quota Raj hai, heavy industries, as I was saying. Now you have more market economy. And I think we can appreciate this creation of a structure which happens with a certain mindset, otherwise it is not possible.
जी सर.
Second question.
So high-powered money refers to the money controlled and released by the central authority. It is the monetary base over which money multiplier operated to increase money supply. So currency
Okay.
circulation, reserves with the banks, RBI, uh, CD, currency deposit ratio, deposit ratio, excess reserve ratio. So a high-powered money is this. So it is like more specific and technical. Money
Mm-hmm.
multiplier M, which is money supply divided by high powered money. I've defined it and written the formula. Impact of the short term monetary policy on high powered money is open market operation, take place contraction in monetary policy, reduce the high powered money. Under expansionary, it will increase high powered money. Changes in policy ratio. So contractionary policy, so symbolically impact on money multiplier policy ratio. If that reduces, money multiplier will increase. If R increase, so M will fall. Behavioral ratio CD, ED also impacted indirectly. However, effectiveness of the monetary policy on the money supply and the money multiplier depends on the effective transmission mechanism. So थोड़ा सा
So
सर.
in fact, second answer is not. Second part is in fact not clearly, explained. That is why a short note is also there. But the part one where you are saying technical, that is what we have to see.
हम्म.
That do it makes a sense for us to learn and to understand, so that the answer becomes complete.
जी.
So you can give me your feedback with respect to both the answers.
जी, so from the perspective of the first answer, I would say more clarity in terms of thinking will, I think, bring the change, and maybe revision can help to some
Mm-hmm.
extent in such type of questions. Apart from this, sir, second वाले में I think मतलब सेकंड वाला मॉडल आंसर थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन वाला था, तो इतना क्लैरिटी डिराइव नहीं हुई. बट इक्वेशन के पर्सपेक्टिव से मैंने डायरेक्टली इक्वेशन लिख दी सिंपलर फॉर्म में. सो
Mm.
मतलब एक वो भी वे है, क्या तो पूरा उसको और टेक्निकल करके लिखो, वो भी मतलब करेक्ट है, इक्वेशन में गलत कुछ वो नहीं था.
कुछ हो नहीं था.
हम्म.
ये ठीक है. तो अब हमारा वही दो बातें आई कि पहले वाले में हमें समझ में आया, जो हम शुरू से बात करते हैं कि दिस इज नॉट रिटर्न एनीवेयर, बिकॉज
जी.
दिस काइंड ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग ओनली कम्स फ्रॉम वंस ओन अंडरस्टैंडिंग
मतलब
एंड एक्सपीरियंस. क्योंकि जो हमने लिखा वो फिर भी एक
वो ऊपर
इट इज
की
मूविंग
लेयर
टुवर्ड्स द
है.
राइट. इट
हम्म.
हाँ लेयर है, वो बिल्कुल सही बोला, लेयर है. तो ये सेकंड लेयर पे ऑलरेडी है कि सिर्फ इस ऑप्शनल में नहीं, वो हर ऑप्शनल के लिए एक्चुअली विजिबल है
हम्म.
कि हमें लेयर टू में जाना है, और लेयर टू में जाके हमें उसकी जो भाषा है, यानी जो इकोनॉमिक ऑप्शनल की जो भाषा है,
जी.
हमें उस भाषा पे चर्चा करनी है. हमें उस भाषा का जो पर्सपेक्टिव है वो हमें लेके आना है.
हाँ
और
जी.
जो आपने टेक्निकल की बात कहा, यू कैन गो एंड क्रॉस चेक, एंड द टॉपिक विल आल्सो बी completed, and we will also able to understand it well.
जी.
So wonderful, thank you very much, and we will again get back with more such questions in such an important manner, where they will help you to learn, to be truthful, and with integrity you will try to create your own answers leading to the success with Ansarkari. Thank you very much.